say kids are a blessing, and I guess that's true. Sometimes it seems like they're a blessing in disguise. I know when they're little, they're so easy to love. They're so full of life, and they're so thankful for everything. And it seems like they kind of metamorphosize into something other than what you'd like as they get older. You hear of people abusing their old parents, living in their house, stealing from them. It's just awful. It's just awful. But I know when my kids were growing up, they did a lot of things that some would call a blessing in disguise. I'll never forget once when we were at Splash Country, which is owned or named for Dolly Parton. It's a water park in Sevierville. At the time I weighed around 450 pounds. Which if you don't know, it's kind of hard to get around when you weigh two people. So I'm laying in a hammock. I tell my two sons quietly, not to bring any attention to myself, you know. Hey, you guys, one of you get on each side of me and help get me out of this chair. Well, they act like they're gonna do it. They grab each side of my arm and start pulling me up. And as they get me about halfway up, my oldest son, Jacob, starts chanting, "He's getting up, he's getting up." And they tend to drop me, so I fall back in the seat. So now I'm mad, and they're laughing. Everybody's around us laughing. I said, "Get me out of this chair. I'm gonna whoop your butts when I get out of this chair." Well, of course, they knew I couldn't whoop them because I wouldn't be able to catch them. So they grabbed me again, start helping me up, start chanting, "He's getting up, he's getting up." And then they let me go again. Well, finally I managed to roll off that chair like a beached whale and get myself up. But I never forgot that announcement that I was getting up indeed. That's just one of many instances where my children have been such a blessing to me. I received a letter one year from the IRS that said I hadn't paid them enough. I opened the bill, they said, "You owe us another $82,000. Well, I didn't even make $82,000 that year. Sure, the heck ain't got $82,000 to give them. Well, my son Jacob saw that letter. He's about 12 then. And he really felt bad for me, and he thought, I guess, if he made a little dance and did a little jig, I'd feel better. So he commenced dancing around the desk where I was sitting with my head hung low, chanting, "What's your next move, Dad? What's your next move? What's your next move, Dad? What's your next move? What's your next move, Dad? What's your next move? What's your next move, Dad? What's your next move?" After about 30 minutes of him chanting that question, I looked up and I said, "My next move is to take a baseball bat to your head if you don't get out of this room, young man." And so he left. Yes, they are truly a blessing indeed. Children are. So many things my children have done to me, done for me. Or should I say done to me? But we gotta love them, because ain't none of us perfect. One of my sons, I told him he had to go with me to church one night. We were having prayer meeting. He wanted to go out and spend the night with his friends. About 15, I said, "Well, you gotta come to church to prayer meeting first." We get in there, we go, "Hey, it'd be good for him and his friend that, you know, they'll feel the Spirit of the Lord, man, make them want to do better." Well, they were having Lord's Communion, just kind of a self-serve thing. And so he goes up there and gets him a little thing of grape juice and a wafer. He takes the wafer and grape juice, and he tells his friend, didn't think I could hear him as he took it. He said, "Man, Jesus is good. I didn't know Jesus was so good." Next thing I know, he's got two wafers and another grape juice, and he's sitting on the bench texting somebody with these two wafers sitting there. Well, that was embarrassing to me. I didn't want nobody to see that. So I go over there and try to get them two wafers off his leg, and he grabs them and says, "Go get your own food. This is mine." Anyway, maybe he just needed to get a little bit more holy, and he needed those wafers. So, hey, God bless you. Love your children, even if you want to kill them. Because that's what we did to Jesus. Amen.